Augmented reality is a technology which was once considered to be science fiction or a dream or a myth, but due to the brighter minds and the technology that came along with it, we were able to make it into reality. You guys have encountered augmented reality in some way or the other, not in a direct way, but knowingly or unknowingly, you're familiar with the technology itself. So without wasting any more time, I will just get right into it. So presenting augmented reality and I towards the future. So this is the roadmap, or you can say an overview for the entire session, starting from the introduction about augmented reality, then some history, then the different types of augmented realities, and the different properties of the augmented reality, and the jobs, that how what does augmented reality offer to you in the sense of a employment perspective. So yes, augmented reality, as the name suggests, it's somewhat the first thought that comes to your mind is that view, like you can see things, you can talk, you can move, you can what the word I'm looking for, interaction. Like you can in the system, the augmented reality is a completely a new innovative way of interacting to your environment, like I'm doing to you right now, like we are interacting online. Before some time ago, these sessions or these webinars were conducted face to face. Okay, everybody would be gathered in one room and they would interact. Then after some time, these online sessions came to take place. So that shift was somewhat effective for us, somewhat comfortable for many of us. So this augmented reality is also a different way of interacting to your environments and also the objects within those environments. But then the question would come: how are you interacting with them? The interactive experience is done by not only use of the real environment that we have, but also the computer generated perceptual information. We add some data would improve our experience, which would improve our which would improve our interaction of that particular object. So in one short sentence, we can say that augmented reality is a innovative way of interacting to the environment by adding some computer information. This computer information can be a three-dimensional model, it can be a text, it can be a 2D image, or anything which is not real. A virtual object which is brought into this real world so that we can interact with it and the corresponding surroundings in a much better way. The term augmented reality was coined by Tom Quaider in the year 1990. Even though the term was coined in 1990, its research and its experiments dates back to the 80s. So we have the definition for augmented reality system. Like augmented reality system is a system which fulfills three main properties, as I have listed above, listed in front of you. The first one is real and virtual world combination. The real and virtual worlds are two facts or two phrases which are used as counter opposite. They are opposite to each other in some way. They have their own properties. They have their own characteristics, features. So when we combine these two together, when we combine the two worlds together, we should take care that we do not disrupt or we do not contradict some of the features. Like we should maintain the integrity of the real and virtual world, but we should be able to combine them. Then the second point comes real-time interaction. Real-time interaction means that what I am doing to you right now. Like when I speak, you listen. So that's real-time interaction. And the third one is accurate 3D registration of real and virtual world. Like as I've explained, as I mentioned before, the augmented reality system is like bringing something from the virtual world into the real world. Yes. So these virtual worlds or the object from this virtual world should be accurate. Like if you want to bring a ball to the real world, it should look like a ball. So if it is out of shape, then we cannot interact with that. We cannot perceive that it is a ball. So these three characteristics should be met by the AR system. So any system which could satisfy the three main conditions, that is real and virtual world combination, real-time interaction, and accurate 3D registration of the real and virtual world, can be described as an AR system. So what's the need? Like what happened? What miracle happened in this universe that we needed a new way of interaction? Like we can have a normal interaction, but what is the need of augmented reality? We had virtual reality. It was working better. It was working fine. So why do we need this augmented reality? The virtual reality is good. Completely agree with that. They have brought some profit. They have brought many good things to the mankind. But as any tech, it has some boundaries. That is, it works well in its boundaries. So we was in this need of a much more innovative, much more broad spaced technology. In the virtual realities, it's simply like we transport the user to the virtual world. The real world is completely replaced by a virtual world which is created by computer stimulation. We don't have any control over that world. What the world is, it shows to us. We cannot change or anything. We cannot interact with that world as like our world. So that is how we can describe virtual reality in simple words. But in the case of augmented reality, we bring those virtual objects, but we bring certain virtual objects into the real world. We are not going to any, we are not going to some other world. We are bringing something virtual in the real world, and we have complete control over that. We can change that virtual object, we can move it, we can change color, we have complete control in that scenario. And in virtual reality, the environment to which we interact is virtual, it's not real. But in the case of augmented reality, it's completely real. Since its interaction is based on real environment, it has a variety of applications from different sectors, from medicine, from gaming, from engineering, from education. You can think of as many as applications you can possibly think for augmented reality. So it's a very vast concept, and if it is brought into the potential that I will try to show you, it would be a complete game changer in the field of science and technology. Then the old ones. By the old ones, I'm not going to say about the histories, the year, the names. I don't want rush. I don't want you to rush to those points. I would just explain to you guys the first ever operational augmented reality system. Even though it's an operational augmented reality system, it has also paved way to the VR, to the virtual reality type. It has also been some sort of a backbone or a pioneering revolution in the case of technical sector. In the year 1992, Louis Rosenberg is the one who created this technology. The name is virtual fixtures. Virtual fixtures was the name given to the invention of Louis Rosenberg. As you can see in the picture, it's sort of like an exoskeleton. Like I would explain this so I would try to explain this how the virtual fixture works. So imagine yourself that you are in two rooms, and in one room you have a robot, and in the other room you have a person, and the person is wearing high power binoculars and gloves and all the apparatus that is being shown in this figure. When you move your right arm, the robot's right arm also moves. So what that means is that the movement of the robot is controlled by this exoskeleton, by you only. In this way, by doing so, what it aims is that it improves the immersive experience of the user. Like the classification between, or the difference between human and robot is negligible in that particular way. Like you completely immersed, you're completely involved in the situation. Why do we need this thing, or where does Louis Rosenberg applied this thing? It was mainly used for improving the human work performance. Like just solve, there are certain tasks at that time where 3D graphics were not developed in the year 98. Talking about the year 1992, the 3D graphics were not developed at that point as in the present. It was not developed, and when we have to do certain complex tasks. So what he meant was that it was a innovative way so that we can control the robots. At the same time, we have a feeling that we are doing this. We are not controlling the robot with a remote or command. It's more to like Ravan that that you guys have mostly seen the Ravan film. But in this case, instead of the suit which Pratik or Shah Rukh Khan, which Shah Rukh Khan made control the character in the game, it controls a robot in the real life. So what the peculiarity or how AR is added, when you if you ask that question, you see this binocular, right? Like if you use this binocular and you view your hand, you actually see the hand of the robot, not your hand. So it gives you a feeling that you are one with the robot. This virtual fixtures was a pioneering invention, which became the backbone of many innovative technologies, starting from the VR itself. Then I will try to introduce to some of the different types of projects, different types of augmented reality. Like you can have numerous types of augmented reality, but I have shortlisted some of them. So the first one is the projection-based augmented reality system. As the name suggests, it involves a projector. It is mainly used in the manufacturing industries. For example, light guide system. Light guide system is a car manufacturing industry. It manufactures car parts. So how do you use a projection based AR system in a car manufacturing industry? If you ask, you can see in this picture, like a person is tightening some bolts of a automobile part, and you can also see then some the bolts are highlighted with green with the green color. These are not painted, these are projected onto these bolt, so that the worker who is tightening the bolt could know that which bolt that he has to bolt. Like if you give a real life application, is that okay, consider for us humans, drawing a straight line by free hand is very much difficult. Like we cannot be as accurate in drawing a straight line by free hand. But if you use a ruler, in that case it's much more accurate, it's much more precise. So the projection based AI systems application is that it can guide the humans to do certain tasks. It can be used to simplify certain complex tasks. Then another applications which you guys will see in the future, I think it would come with the market within a given period of time. Like the correct name of that, I don't know. It's like citric bracelet. It's sometimes some kind of that work. The smartphone you guys have, right? It's projected. You have a band here, and the smartphone will be projected on your wrist. So that's the innovation that the Apple company, the Dell, they are incorporated with each other. They are trying to create such a mobile phone, which would come with the market which uses projection based AR technology. Like in this figure, in this picture, you have that girl image. You have a person's hand, and in the finger you have the keypad of the mobile. And when you press those keypad, the keys which you have pressed, or the numbers you pressed, are shown on the left hand side. So that's one use of projection based AI system. It's flexible, it's scalable, it's customizable. Okay. And next we have the recognition based AI system. This AI system is the base for most of the common applications you have in AR till today. Is based on a recognition based AI system. So what does it do is that it analyzes, it scans a particular object, scans a particular object and gives an output. And the object being scanned is known as an AR marker. Like I would explain to you guys with an example. Like if you're scanning a QR code, okay, in your phone you are scanning the QR code, and the QR code is the AR marker. So recognition based AI system is like we analyze a particular object and we give the output. And there are two ways. There are mainly divided into two ways on how that you can create a recognized, or how do you apply this type of AR system. One way is that you scan an object and it would give you information which is associated with that object. Like in the case of travelers, like if you are if you are on a tour in some places, in some outside places, like in Germany or anything, or outside your home, if you find something amusing and you don't know anything about it, what you do, you scan, you take your phone, you scan it, and the related information is seen on your mobile phone. And the second application for recognition based AI system is that you scan an object, again you scan an object, and it replaces it with three 3D design of that object. Like in the figure that I have shown you, like the AR marker is the card of a baseball player. And when once you scan it, the three-dimensional view of that player is shown. This thing is mostly going to be used by architects. Like they would create the blueprints of your house, and in order to for we to see how the house would look like a non-technical person or any a normal person, if you show them this blueprint, they would go bonkers. What are you showing this? Where is my home? They would think like that. So in order to remedy that, we can use this explanation-based AI system. You simply show a blueprint, simply show the blueprint, you scan it, and you can see the 3D model. And this is location-based AI system. Location-based AI system mainly use geo-based technology. Like it uses your GPS, the digital compass, the individual movement. It tracks the individual movement and shows the output. It works well as it uses GPS tracker. It works well in outdoors and indoors also. And one of the applications you can find is Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is very familiar to you guys. It's what a revolutionary game that was created by the company, and it was well sold in across the globe. It was greatly accepted by everyone. It was so cool right now. It was so cool. So the game is that you guys, I don't have to explain to you how the game works. The backbone of the game is location-based AR. It's mainly AR, but the type is location-based AR. And the next and the above figure that I have shown you guys is shop finder. Like if you arrive at a place that you are not familiar with, and you have to buy some clothes or you have to buy some stationery items, but you don't understand the language, you don't know anything about the place. What you do is that you simply open your phone, you scan the place, or you look to your phone, you scan the place, and the different shops will be shown on your mobile phone, and the distance from which the distance between your position and the shop, and the rating will be shown. Like in this case, the Libro, it's a shop and which has a rating of 20 people says yes, you can go to you should go to that shop. So it's a short it mainly uses the our GPS data, our location, to give the output. It do not scan anything. It don't require an object, but it do not require an AR marker or some sort. It simply uses our location to give our output. And this is outlining based AR system. In the previous all examples I have, or sorry, in previous all applications, what we discussed was that the AR system require an object. Like for recognition based AI system, we need an object to recognize, we need an object to scan. Location based also, we need some data. But in the case of outlining, we don't need any particular object or a data. It simply analyzes our surroundings. It uses object recognition to understand a user's immediate surroundings. It completely analyzes or scans our surroundings that we are in right now. So where do we use this outlining based technology, or what is the application? One application that has been gravely promoted is during driving. Like imagine yourself, you are driving 100 miles per hour in a straight highway, in a foggy highway that you don't know, you don't see the vehicles, or if there is some obstacle in your path, you don't see because it's foggy, and you don't see the lines, whether you did not cross the lines of some sort, you don't know because it's too foggy right now. Okay, so in that point of view, in that scenario, outlining based applications are more strong. Like if you use an AR glass, you can actually see the line. Like in this picture, you see this is a line. The driver can see, driver who is wearing this AR glass can see the line of the road, and you can also see a car. Like if this is too foggy, if you're driving in a foggy highway, you cannot see it because you're completely blinded by the fog. Your eyes can't see, and accidents is prone to occur. So by using this outline based AI system, your chance of getting into an accident is not completely, but it's sort of reduced to some extent. Then comes superimposition based AI system. This type of AI system, it's mainly what it does is do not need an object to scan, it do not need an environment, it requires some data, it requires some data, but what it does that it replaces, not either completely or not completely, it replaces a real view or the original view of a place, and it can replace it completely or partially with any given object. Like like in an example, like if you are buying a couch or a sofa, and you went to the shop, and you're going to the shop, and you think, and you selected a particular sofa, but you don't know whether it will fit with uh, the curtains color. You cannot just buy, and you don't want to like replace this thing like after you buy it, and you find that, oh my, oh, this is not working well with the room, so I have to replace. So that's a very tedious work. So what do we have here is in superimposed based AI system, that if you want, if you like a sofa, you take a picture of it, and using superimposed AI system, you can place it in your living room and see, okay, whether it works well or where it works well in your living room. Some a similar kind of concept or idea was put forward in the south or the north India, like when you go dress shopping. Most of us have went that. In my case, I if I went to a dress shop, I would select so many shirts and jeans, and I would try it on, try each one and on, and it would take more amount of time. So what they propose that, like, you will be stood in front of a screen, and they would ask which cloth or which dress you want, and after selecting that cloth, you can see your image where you can see yourself wearing that dress in the screen, so that you can check whether if it is okay, good or bad, whether it is right or wrong. You can do all sort of that. So the superimposed based AI system has an application if in sales or in textiles, but it also has an application when it comes to medicine also. Like in this given picture, like you can see the X-ray, like wow, the X-ray or the X-ray is being the X-ray of that person's hand is imposed on his view. Like this is a camera shot from his home, and the doctor has superimposed the X-ray picture of his hand on his camera view, so that we can see where the problem is in a much more effective way. I'm not saying that X-ray is bad or not, but we want something better. Like this is much better than the conventional way. So the different platforms that we have, like there are many platforms for creating an augmented reality system, but one of the famous ones is that the Unity and Spark Studio. The Unity is mainly used for creating visual effects. It mainly is devoted for big time AR apps like Pokemon Go and all. Spark Studio is more like Instagram filters, like the Facebook filters or the Instagram filters that you have used is basically AR. That's why I said in the first in the starting of the session that you guys have interacted with AR in some sort or not. So Instagram filters and Facebook filters, they are all AR system, they are all AR technology, or they all follow AR technology. So the Spark Studio and Unity are two main platforms where you can create your own AR app. I also given the link in my presentation. Then the advantages, just like any technology, you can have, there had to be advantages, they will have disadvantages. So the advantages can be more related to the applications. Like I mentioned, in sales, in textiles, in couch, okay, in couch selection or in dress selection, it would be much more better for us. So it has an increase in sales if your company tries to advertise their product using AR, just like the OnePlus, they released their new version through AR launch. You guys have mostly seen that. So why do they use AR? Because it's a new and interactive way of launching a new product. It has not been done before, so it's the first time. So it would seek out more attention to their product. So it's an increase in sales. Then enhanced real world experience, that I have already told you how you can improve the interaction by adding some masala or some more information regarding that. Then comes the increase in accuracy. It's much more accurate if in the case of, like, as the information increases, the accuracy would also try to increase. and then comes improvement in education. Education sector will be more influenced by this system. If this AI system comes into the potential that I hope it would come in the future, education sector would be completely changed. That like you don't even have to go to school anymore. You can attend them from your home, like already doing now. Then the disadvantages. It's very expensive. The technology is very expensive but I can assure you that it would be better in long term. Then the privacy issues. Privacy issues is still not being remedied till now. They are working on it. Like since all the AR system that I have mentioned involves AR glass. So what you see, the AR glass see. So it can gather many information about you, about your surroundings, etc. So it can have some sort of a negative impact on the privacy, but it depends upon the user. Like in the case, then the next coming is mental health. This is a cliche demerit for all technologies, from television to phone to video games to mobile phones. We have made this point, like your mental health will be disrupted. You would feel stress, a loss of sleep, lack of sleep, anything. So AI system also has mental health, but it limits because we are interacting to a real world in some way. The AI system is 75% real world and 25% virtual world. So mental health is sort of less, but it is there. Affection, the negative impact of mental health is still there, but it is in less amount. Then the differentiating both world. This is a hypothesis. Like if we create an AI system in the future that we are not able to differentiate what is real or what is virtual, but that case is a hypothesis. Like we cannot predict it would happen because we are human. We cannot create something very perfect. The one theory of mine is that in the future, if we are able to create an artificial intelligence system which could create AR system for us, it can may led to this condition. Then the jobs, that is the main concern. I cannot assure you that AI system is so hot right now. It is not well demanded like the machine learning or artificial intelligence. It is not very demanding right now, but in the future it would come. Like in the case of gaming section, AI is the future. They have made this clear. AI will be the future of gaming industries. So the jobs offered to those enthusiasts of AR are AR developer, AR 3D designer, AR specialist, Unity developer. You can create games, you can create applications for us, for which can be used in the daily life, which can be used by common people, so that they could, uh, so that their quality of life will be much more improved by using AR system. With this, I would like to conclude my words. Thank you for once again. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Good research done, Jishnu. Interesting.
Thank you, sir.
Most of us have seen AR, right? So, any questions and suggestions on this? Any ideas, bright ideas? This website, I guess everyone's, whoever is wearing specs over here, all of us might have tried this website, lenskart.com. It is a live example of a website, web-based AR, isn't it, Jishnu? Where you can actually try out the glasses online. You upload
Yeah,
your
yes.
photograph and you can try out the specs, and it actually works out. Same with other, Pokemon Go is a good example. We have Google, what is it? Google
HoloLens,
Transport.
we have HoloLens. So
Yeah, HoloLens is there. Google Transportations are there, and we are working on it. And don't worry about the job factor. Okay, currently no one knew that was going to strike so dearly to us, right? No one knew
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and now
Yes.
people are actually stuck in their houses, and we are thinking, when on earth are we
Yeah.
going to get out of our houses? Just
Yeah. If
imagine
it
if
stays
this
too long,
technology.
we can have AR system as a lifetime. This
No,
Corona will never
it
go.
stayed. So it is already 4 months past. We are having this problem, right? It started in the month of March, and we are standing in July. 4 months completely, we are locked down in our houses. Now I am
Yes.
having trouble connecting to my internet for last few days, and
Yes.
everyone is having it. So now I would have actually enjoyed your company if I can actually see you in a hole in my surrounding. I would have enjoyed it. I'm missing my
Yes.
office so badly. I can tell you, if anyone gives me a permission, I don't know, even sir also that allows me, I'll drop in this situation also. I won't mind.
Yes, sir.
I actually wouldn't mind, right? Even though I miss those bike rides and stuff, everything, actually the whole entertainment package is all of a sudden shredded out. Yeah, I don't know about COVID, but AR is somewhat the future, and things are going to be developed in AR a lot, right? We will be needing AR for a lot of things, and even the movies these days, the robot, Avatar,
Yeah,
right?
yes,
AR,
yeah,
AR markers and very interesting things have been used. See, AR is, Adit, thank you for the question. AR is not costlier technically. It's the same thing that we are using every day. If it would have been costlier, then you wouldn't have got the Pokemon Go downloaded for free. It used to get downloaded for free, right? Lenskart is giving you specs for $1,000, and how much do you think they are earning on commissions? 100, 200? But they have built up their AR system on that. It's not costlier on the technological level. Yeah, it is costlier on the structural level. Yeah, Byju's also uses AR. They have implemented AR recently. In the month of April, they have gone fully AR. They are using AR to for their classrooms and stuff, and they are showing their videos. All of the students are currently in virtual classrooms using AR. They are already there. Yeah, Byju's has included that. Internchala is working on it. Facebook is working on it. Facebook is trying to create a virtual social world now. They are tired of being a social website now. They want to make a virtual social world. So yeah, everyone is trying to build it. Best company I could tell you that this Tesla company, SpaceX, they are working with AR. They are trying to create a replica of Mars here on Earth. They are going to give you a space journey thing in a few years of time. So yeah, they are working on it. And I guess everyone, this Pokemon Go creator, Nintendo, they are also working on a system where we can actually play virtual tennis with each other, and we can jump and maybe, I don't know, glide on a horse or something, and we can play tennis or something together. So yeah, people are actually working on it. It's very interesting. Okay, it seems like see, VR and AR are somewhat similar. AR requires a marker. In any case or the other, AR basically requires a marker. It can be a GPS marker, it can be a normal AR marker or something. Some marking point is needed. But in case of VR, it's like a immersion of all the things, right? In AR, you won't be getting audio, you won't be getting overall system, but in a VR, you will be getting that audio system installed. You will be getting that movements installed. When you move, the VR is going to move. But in a case of AR, you might have to move yourself. It depends on the technology or the structure how the AR has been used. So it is actually what we call it interlinked in ways and contradictory also in ways. So guys, any more questions or should
Yes.
we?
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, any ideas?
Yeah.
Bright ideas? Yeah.
Yeah, I no, I don't know about the ideas, but I like the presentation quite a bit because he spoke with so much of very nicely spoken, very nicely done. Yeah, I done a lot of research and put in a lot of slides and everything, all properly done.
yeah. I have tried this thing and failed, so I have no best experience in this.
No, we'll
So
try it with us.
if ideas have been generated, we'll take them up.
We are looking forward to take up new ideas. You can also get in touch with the ideas that you failed with so that we can use our brains to make it successful. You can share it with us if required.